I will speak in the next minutes now about the sponsor's perspective on managing a phase 1 multi-site trial study during the COVID-19 outbreak. Being a little bit more specific, I try to take you to the beginning of this outbreak. On 31st of December 2019, the WHO issued the news about a mysterious lung disease outbreak in central China, in Wuhan. I have to say, I've never heard about Wuhan before in my life. So far, 20 sick people have been identified. And my question to you is now, how did you react as you have heard the first time about this mysterious lung disease? I have to say, I was a little bit wondering about this news, but it didn't really worry me. So I continued with my New Year's preparation and in the end, celebration. The next question is, can you remember what you have been doing when the US travel ban has been announced? This is actually a picture I took when I was together with Wendy, who's presenting here as well, in Salt Lake City, because this is actually where I was during this travel ban was announced. So on the 11th of March, the US had a little bit over 1,000 confirmed cases. 38 people had been dying. In Germany, we were close to the 2,000 confirmed cases with 4 people dying. When I was preparing the presentation on the 8th of November, the US were close to 46.5 million confirmed cases with 750,000 people dying. In Germany, we are close to the 5 million and nearly 100,000 people dying from this mysterious lung disease. The next question I would like to ask you, have you ever thought when the whole pandemic started that you about the impact this will have on your work life and the challenges you need to overcome? I didn't. So I want to talk today about the dynamic of changes and the sponsor oversight and risk management strategies we were implementing. Why dynamic of changes? Well, the situation was changing on a daily basis for us. Not only for us, also for our partner, CRO, and our phase 1 units. To give you a little oversight about the study we were running by that time, we wanted to recruit a little more than 250 healthy subjects with a drug, with an immunosuppressive drug. We had 3 phase 1 units in the study, 1 site in the EU and 2 sites in the US. Our pharmacokinetic lab was in the EU and in the US, and the anti-drug antibodies lab was located in the European Union. So, dynamic and changes. We were facing a lot of uncertainties and unknowns. Every day was really different than the day before. Everything we had discussed the day before, when you switched on your computer, you didn't know if this is really what will happen that day. We had a lot of impact on our recruitment. In Europe, we were facing border closings, implementation on curfews. People started working completely from home. Homeschooling was implemented. The ethics committees added additional requirements. In the US, state borders were closed and also homeschooling and home office was implemented. And we were facing especially the problem of recruitment because a lot of students were not going back to uni anymore, which are typical for the typical subjects to this phase 1 studies. Furthermore, we had a recruitment hold for a couple of months actually to assure subject safety. We also had an impact on the sample shipment. In Europe, limited number of flights and social distancing. In the US, also limited number of flights. We had to bring our samples across the continent in the US to the lab. We also had only limited courier staff available and social distancing rules implemented as well. What we were doing, we were monitoring really each sample shipment before, where you had some checkups, but this time we had our lab head calling the courier themselves to check when the sample is shipped and following the sample basically like you would follow an Amazon package you are really looking forward to. Additional sample stability assays had to be implemented. The impact on the study design, we ended up adding 3 more sites to our study, 2 US sites and 1 site in Europe. We increased the study stipend. We implemented SARS-CoV-2 tests before site admission. And we increased the in-house period. And also, as an addition, home quarantine was implemented. In some countries, even a daily checkup of this subject at home. Needless to say that these implementations on the study design were also a massive impact on our study budget. So how to ensure sponsor oversight and risks and update your risk management strategy when you face these unknowns and uncertainties. Together with our sites and the CRO, we implemented a weekly COVID-19 call. So in addition to our study calls we already had with the lab, with our partner CRO, this was an additional call, weekly call with every PI attending, with the management of the CRO attending, and also my management attending. During this call, not only the review of the recruitment forecast was discussed, also the COVID-19 situation in each country and state. And it was weekly discussed when we can start the study again. With the start of the study, we were reviewing really closely the IMP status of each site, because we always had to be ready to ship, worst case, our IMP to another site. We were reviewing the delayed samples because even we started the study again, flights and courier issues were still ongoing. And together with the delay of the samples, also the assessment on our analysis set had been done by our statistician. In terms of quality assurance, we implemented a remote interface audit to really, this was the audit we could do. And so we tried to still assure that all the data flowing, because the amount of data flows were extremely increased, to assure here the quality of our study. And we increased the report, the monitoring report review to 100%. This was initially not planned, and this added a lot of workload, not only at the CRO side, also on our side. The sponsor oversight plan we had implemented back then was updated with a COVID-19 update. Talking about the risk management strategy here, well, first topic, the study hold. we assessed weekly the restart of our study, having in mind the well-being of our study subjects. Not forgetting, we were treating the subjects with a immunosuppressive drug. So back then, we knew that the virus had only a limited impact on our subjects, but still, we wanted to be 100% sure that our subjects are safe. As said before, we added 3 more phase 1 units to our trial. The RECT and IQRMP, you maybe have heard about it. These are quite industry common risk assessment tools. First of all, a COVID-19 specific update and the addition of COVID-19 specific risks, the involvement and, or better say, the very close involvement of our statistician in the COVID-19 calls. Following an SAP update, so a statistical analysis plan update for the assessment of the COVID-19 cases, which then resulted into a specific sensitivity analysis. Well, these were the risk management strategies we implemented. If I would do it again, I think I would rather move on not having another pandemic, but facing also this dynamic of changes. I think we did a okay job facing all these challenges and managing these challenges together with a great team, and I'm done, Thomas. And you need to stop. You need to cut the last m. Great team. Can we end then?